Okay, I'm going to stretch up a little bit of fence today, a little bit of ATV fencing tutorial. Nothing serious. If I was setting T-posts and stuff and needed a T-post puller and a T-post driver and some T-posts, I'd have my cart hooked behind this ATV, but I don't need to do that today. Just basic replacing some clips and stretching up some wires here today. I'm going to show the use of my fencing pliers. There's a nice old diamond model right there, and a newer model diamond right there. Fencing pliers. Genuine USA made Splice It tool and Splice It tubes that they came out with probably a little over 20 years ago. Longer than that, actually. I started using that on a large ranch that I worked way back in 1996. I learned how to use this system. So we'll get right to it. I'll try and set the phone up here on the stand. All my tools with me today, my trusty nice fence stretcher, like I just showed, my usual ATV setup, my tools, my blades, my rifle, my guns, my ammo, all of my everyday carry on my ATV, that sort of thing. We'll go into that on a different video someday, maybe. Okay, let's get some fence set up right now, shall we? Or stretched up. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, because these are old rusty wires, there's no problem with basically just cutting them and then crimping them together once I get them stretched enough. I'll go right next to that barb so that I delete that piece of barb right there, and then I've got plenty of slack and plenty of room to get my tube on these what's going to be two pieces of wire instead of one that you see there after I cut it. Now I can cut that with my fence pliers if I want to. I don't really need to. Oftentimes I do. The Splice It tool has a really nice cutter, so we'll show that in action right now. Just like that. Of course I gotta one-hand it because I'm pulling the camera. Now there's that barb right there. I'll take my fencing tool and I'll just pluck that off of there, and then we'll stretch this together, all right? So a lot of times you can slide hammer these off, but on something this old and this rusty, you can't. So you'll have to come in and give that get your small jaws on that, and then just twist that off of there. Let me try sliding that off of there one more time, because I'm having a heck of a time doing this one-handed and without reading glasses, which I can no longer really do. There. I'd have that off of there already if I wasn't, half blind because I can't put my glasses on and all that good stuff. Did I get that? We got close. Might be able to get it now. There. Oops, that went flying. I think it'll be okay. All right, there we got that nice and clean. And now we'll pull this together. ever so gently, and we'll go down and make sure that all of that's untangled and everything. Okay, probably grab my fence pliers to do that. Where are we at here? Okay. There we go. Now we're untangled, and we got that. We're doing the top wire, so we're working our way from the top down. And maybe another little click here, just like that. All right, I'm trying to not talk too much on this one because I was told I talk way too much. There, we got that pretty tight. Let's go down and take a look at this one. As you can see, it looks a lot nicer down here. There's a nice 4-wire, just barely tight enough, you know, to where it looks good. It'll hold them pretty good. Not a problem. Now, what I can do often is, give that a good tug sideways like that. I think that's tight enough. Now, I'm going to trim this up with my fencing pliers. As in, I'm going to shorten them. I'm going to cut a little bit off there, just so that I got some overlap. And I will probably fold these back just a little bit also. Okay. There we go. The tube is going to go right where my thumb is. There we are. Okay, I'll go onto this wire first, and then they will slide in there together. The spacing and the length has got to be just perfect. All right, once again, you know, doing this one-handed is almost impossible. Okay, there, I just got it started so that you can see the end is right there where my fingernail is. I got it set up so I can do this one-handed for the camera. And there we are. We got it started. Now they're both started in there. It's kind of a tight fit. A lot of times I'll come in with my fencing tool and just work that tube dead center of the two pieces of cut wire, just like that. A little bit of a tap sometimes, just like that. There. And I can give it a little bit of a twist and slide too, using that method as well. As you can see, that's working too. All right, now we just got to crimp it. Now the flat part of the jaws right there are what we'll use to crimp it. I got to do this one-armed, so that's going to be a bit difficult. Just like this. Good crimp there. I didn't get it where I wanted to because I'm trying to do this one-handed. One right there. Let's try that. There's a full crimp. I had to do that with my knee and my hand. Okay, with two hands I'll come back and do another one. I like to do at least 3, sometimes 4. Okay, let's finish that off. Okay, I'll bring you in for a close look now. And now on my way back at the end of this video, I can show you some of my splices out here that are 11 years old and they do not slip out. When I can, I will fold those back like that, and that'll really prevent that slip out that on a rare occasion can happen to these. And I can assure you, when your tool is adjusted right and you're using the original quality crimpet, splice tubes and tool, it's going to work just fine. We'll let that go, and there we are, nice and tight. As you can see, I'm going to do those next 3 the exact same way. So that's probably going to end this video right here. Or we'll go and we'll take a look at one of my 11-year-old tubes, as finishing off with the proof of this is a good system and it's durable. Okay, just have to remove my fence stretcher just like that, no problem. And then just like this over here. There. I'll leave that right here, and we'll come back and finish the rest of this fence. I got to put some clips on there. Let's show how we do that right away. We'll go put a clip on that T-post. This is an older style T-post. It doesn't have the nice thick notches on it, but it'll work. This is how we do it. Now, some operators want you to do this upside down, so that the weight of the wire is always on the most material of that clip. So for those operators that would want it done this way, I will do it this way. So the force of the wire is always pushing down on that clip. It depends on whose fence you're fixing, and if they're particular about doing it that particular way, then I adjust my method accordingly, and there's my proof. Okay, there we are. That's all ready to go. We just got to tighten. We're going to cut and tighten these bottom 3, and that's our finished product right there. Okay, makes sense? Let's go look at an 11-year-old splice tube that I did 11 years ago, so that I can prove that that's a good splice. Okay, every one of these splices was done 11 years ago for sure. That's when I did these. This is my double splice method. Yeah, it will waste a tube and you got another one, but sometimes you have to extend things to make it work. I don't want to do that when I don't have to. There it is. I am Dead Wolf. I'm out. See you soon on the next one. This was kind of fun. All right, I hope that was helpful.